What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode with Phrankleen. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to smash the like button. If you haven't, give consideration to smashing the subscribe button. And once you've done that, select the bell button so you're notified. And when you select the bell button, select the all option so you're notified when I'm online, live streaming, or when I've uploaded a pre-recorded content like this one, okay? Welcome to a segment called Say It Like It Is. I've been running this since 2019. It's basically people sending their stories. It could be trending topics, something we can hopefully learn from. You know, the topics on that Say It Like It Is are pretty eclectic. So the premise of it is, as a Black community, we can hopefully learn one or two things and, you know, how to improve our lives, how to protect our resources and things like that. All right. So once again, thank you for stopping by, and let's get the show started. So one of the subscribers sent me this particular story. Okay. It was a story of a woman who was in a relationship with a husband, and I think led to a lot of domestic situation and all that. And, you know, she decided to get out of the relationship. But part of the plan was she confided in her, her family, trusted them. The family's back home. She was in the diaspora with the husband, and, things went banana shape. So I'm going to read you, the slides here. So to give you an idea of what the story is, and then I'll put my comments on top. All right, let's go. So it says, I got married to my husband in 2007. The 10 years I lived with that guy was hell. He was emotionally and physically abusive. 5 years into the marriage, it dawned on me that I needed to act fast. Else I might just end up, dead one day. Good thinking. So I started saving up some cash. My ex-husband was rich, so saving money wasn't an issue. As soon as I saved up, up to 200,000 naira, she basically converted that to the value in Nigerian naira. So I started sending it to my mom's account because her mom's based in Nigeria, right? So from that point, she must have thought, she had an exit plan, and she thought, who else to trust? Let me confide in my mom. She must have discussed the plan with the mom, and then she started moving money as part of her exit plan from a toxic relationship. I mean, you look at that on paper. Would you say that's a bad idea? Stay tuned. So this was because we were not based in Nigeria, and I have closed down my Nigerian bank account as at then. Prior to then, she had closed down a Nigerian bank account, hence why she became reliant on her mother, the woman that gave birth to her. Stay with me now. In 2015, I was able to save up some substantial amount of money, up to 4 million naira. That's actually quite substantive, 4 million naira. Now, to put things in perspective, for those that may not understand the exchange rate, let me pull up my calculator and see what 4 million naira very quickly. That's divided by, I think the money today is about 740. That's about 5,400 pounds. She said, I was able to save up some substantial amount of money, up to 4 million naira, about 5,400 pounds. So I used part of the money, not up to 1 million naira, to start an online business so that by the time I got back to Nigeria, I would have something to hold on to, which was part of our exit plan, like I said, right? My elder sister was handling the inventory while I handled the social media pages while she was in the diaspora. So with time, the business started picking, and I decided it was the best time to leave the marriage with my sanity intact because my ex-husband was getting worse by the day. A month won't pass without him hitting me as hard as possible. Right. He didn't have the slightest idea that I was leaving. I just, she confided in her mom, her sister. She was clever enough to start these online business, as I said earlier. I just packed my things, took my kids and fled. If he knew I had plans of leaving, I wouldn't have been able to leave. Of course, it would have become complex for her, particularly with the kids. It probably would have interfered, wouldn't let her take the kids. You know, you can imagine. I arrived Nigeria, and that was when my plans started. The first thing I did was opening a bank account. Then I asked my mom to transfer the money in her account, which was about 8 million naira. So going by today's rate, if I'm correct, 8 million naira divided by that, yeah, it's about 10,800 pounds. So at that time, she had accumulated about 10,000 pounds in her mom's bank account. So she thought. I mean, of course, there was evidence. And for someone who was clever enough to have built a business and with the hope that when she lands in Nigeria with her children, she would have something to carry on building upon and be able to give a good life to her children. I mean, to me, that's a fantastic idea that came up from the mind of a very smart woman, all right? Now, I asked my mom to transfer the money in her account, which was about 8 million naira, about 10,000 plus pounds. To my surprise, she transferred just 300,000 naira. Again, to put things in perspective, the amount the mother transferred, for those that are not used to Nigerian naira, that's in pounds. That's like what? It's divided by 740. That's like 400 pounds-ish that the mother transferred out of about 10,000 pounds. You know, I tried to ask her, perhaps it was a mistake, but I was faced with a massive shock. So basically, apparently, it turned out that my mom had used my money to send her son, which is our older sibling, to Dubai. She had squandered the money, right, without this lady's knowledge or consent, right? She used the money on the elder brother and the rest blown. And then they used part of it to renovate our old house. This was with the involvement of our older sister now. All this happened whilst I was kept in the dark. I was in tears for weeks. I was absolutely broken. But I picked myself up and I started hustling afresh. I took over my business from my sister and tried to make ends meet. The most painful part was they started denying my kids and I food because she stayed with her mom, you know, with her kids that she brought from the diaspora. They started denying my kids, they connived and they weaponized access to food, knowing that they had stolen from her. This is family now. Treated us like an outcast. They kept saying I should bring money for food or go back to my husband's house. Can you imagine? So suggesting that she goes back to a toxic man means go back to where you came from and hopefully you die in the process, pretty much. And she said at some point I couldn't put up with the ill treatment and mockery anymore, so I confided in my childhood friend, and she said I could come live with her till I'm able to stand on my own and find an apartment in Lagos. I left for Nigeria with my 3 children, completely unaware of what life holds for me. With the help of my friend, I was able to register my kids in an affordable school and put more effort into my business. So eventually, she was able to move into a new apartment. Kids were registered in one of the best schools, made sure, she was able to take care of them on a monthly basis, went through hell, but with the support of a good friend, which most people don't even have access to. And she said, my so-called family tried reaching out to me a year later, but I cut them off completely, as you should. I don't talk to them till date. Don't think I can ever forgive them for what they did to me. I don't need no bad energy around my kids and I. I know what I did for these people, the length I went for them, sponsored my younger sister through school, sent them money from time to time. My ex-husband even sent them money too whilst they were together, right? But what did I get in return? Betrayal. They treated me like I was nothing. And now that they hear that I'm doing well, they want to come back Never. So that's the story, pure and simply. Many thanks to, the subscriber that sent me this story. Now, it's a fantastic one to learn from. I'm happy that the lady was able to find a fit, her business was thriving, grew successfully, and she was able to raise money to, rebuild her life, despite the fact that the family let her down and she was faced with betrayal, as you heard. Now, without taking much of your time, this is what I've been banging on about for people. I mean, 2 people that watch those of you that have been watching me for time, right? Protect your resources. It's absolutely devastating because you see, the truth is some people never get a second chance. All right. So you struggle through the pain in the diaspora, through the snow, through the racism, the discrimination, the working lengthy hours and all that, with all that she was going through in a toxic relationship, the beatings and all that stuff. And you work so hard to save up more than £10,000. There are plenty of people in the diaspora that can't even boast of £10,000 in savings. That's a fact. Doesn't make them less of who they are. Just the lifestyle here, mountain of bills that's just draining people on a monthly basis has made it impossible for a lot of these people, particularly basic earners who are at the bottom end of the societal spectrum. It's absolutely impossible for some people to even boast of £10,000, even after living here for many years, because it's impossible. But that's not the point. The point is you have to learn to protect your resources, your money, aggressively. Protect it with your fiber. Protect it with your blood and sweat, okay? You see, there might be some people out there, and I don't doubt this, okay? This is not doom and gloom, but some people might be like, oh, my mom's not the type. Oh, my dad would never do that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I've kept £100,000 with my dad before, and he didn't touch a dime from the money. Great stuff, okay? But for the most part, most people that came from Africa, that live in the diaspora, I always say this. You are seen, first of all, as a money bag. You are seen as a financial springboard. You are seen as a means to an end. From most family, if 1 out of, say, 4 or 5 children manage to travel abroad, or 2 of you or whatever, right? There is something that's quite prevalent in our society, in our communities. A lot of the parents, there's always a smoke screen of, oh yeah, we're sending you abroad to go and have a better life. But no, it's not. You are seen as a means to an end. You are seen as the avenue for them to constantly harvest Forex, pound sterling, euros, or dollars, whichever is relevant, on a monthly basis. In fact, it's so deadly in some of these families that it doesn't matter if you're the last born child, right? They would literally push the truckload of responsibility of every other sibling on your shoulders. Why? Just because you live in the West. They don't care if all you have in your wardrobe are just 2 pair of shoes, right? They don't care if you only have 2 pair of trousers, or two pair of skirts, or just two blouses, and they don't care if you are dealing with severe arthritis, back pain, ankle pain. They don't care with the discrimination. They don't care. The point is, you live abroad, give us the money on a monthly basis. And I've said this, people are blinded by all of these, emotional blackmail and sentiments, particularly. Oh, my mom, I wish that woman did not close her Nigerian bank account, And let me say very quickly before I forget, if you live in the diaspora, hopefully this will help someone. If you don't have a bank account back home where, let's say I'm using Nigeria as a pointer, you can look online now and find locally in the diaspora, maybe if you live in the UK, you live in Germany, across Europe, in the US, there are places where you can register for, what do you call this? BVN. It's a bank verification number. It's very, very important that you're able to have that before you can have a bank account. There is this NIN number requirement that you've got to register for. You can do all of those things in the diaspora now. If you have those, then it's very easy to communicate with some of the banks online on how to open a bank account. It's very, very important that you have a bank account in your name. Whatever, every tiny little amount you can put aside will be in your name. You have peace of mind. A lot of these banks, they're fantastic fully functioning online banking system that you can access on your mobile phone wherever you are in the world, okay? It's really deadly. To be here in the West, you're breaking your back. In the name of, oh, this is my mother. Oh, yeah, this is my sister. Oh, this is my father, right? Don't gamble with your life. In this sister, this woman here, I'm happy for her that she had a fantastic ending to her story. But let me tell you the truth. In the grand scheme of things, a lot of people don't get that second chance. I've heard stories of people that lost 20 million naira or more, right? That's like double the amount, even triple the amount, and they never got the chance, right? They never got the chance to recalibrate their lives. They never got the chance again to accumulate such amounts or fully get back on their feet. Some people from there, because of the shock, they suffered, depression, heart attacks, and sometimes in the worst case scenario, ends up killing them because they're unable to cope mentally because of what families have done to them. I know someone that's told me recently, is a 52-year-old man. He's in the UK, he's a bus driver. He trusted his father with, I think, about 19,000, nearly 20,000 pounds. And he pushed it into his dad's UBA bank account in Nigeria. And guess what the dad did? The dad spent the money setting up a poultry farm for two of the other siblings. Did you hear what I said? They used his nearly 20,000 pounds to set up a poultry business. Do you know the worst part? When all hell broke loose and this guy went back to Nigeria and then, it became a massive argument. He doesn't even know where the poultry farm is. It's shrouded in secrecy. They connived, they conspired against him. The dad unscrupulously notified the local police station that this guy was threatening himself and his siblings with physical violence. He wants to take their lives. So the police came and they just grabbed the guy, took him to the station. Fortunately, one of the senior police officers sat him down. They listened to him. They could read between the lines. Even at that, police corruption played out. Even when they realized that, okay, they could see what was going on and stuff, he wanted them to investigate. They were in connivance with his father in the background and he couldn't go far enough. Eventually, he abandoned the whole thing because his health was depreciating. It was in a bad place. Family members, they were playing chess with him emotionally. Some pretended like they were on his side. And, the whole politics, man, he eventually, with his tail between his legs, with the pain, it's like a crude knife slit through his heart. He just got back on the flight, came back to the UK, came back to his bus driving. This gentleman that I'm talking about is in his 50s, early 50s, about 52 or 53 if I'm correct. He's not as young, as strong or as young as he used to be, clearly. What are the chances that he will be able to save up that much again? You dig? And he was talking to me. I could feel the pain. I could almost smell it. This is what I say to people. This is what I say to people. Protect your resources. Protect your finance so that you don't end up in a devastating situation that you're unable to recover from. All right? I hope one person has learned at least something inspiring and important, from this woman's story, okay? I wish you all the best as you move through the universe and stuff. Don't get driven by emotional blackmail. Don't subject yourself to it. Learn to say no. Don't be a victim of sentiment. Learn to say no. Protect your resources. Don't take a lump of your money and blindly put it in the hands of family. They will abuse it. They will use your resources. They will beat you up. They will jail you. And they will stand there to say, do your worst. My name is Phrankleen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for lending me your eyeballs and your collective eardrums for watching this. Keep the conversation going on below. Follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen, as it's spelled on this channel. And if you have any stories that you want to send to me, feel free to send them to me. I'll make you anonymous. If you see any trending topic, send them to me. I will most definitely catch you in the very next one. Peace and love, man. Bye-bye now.